Hello, welcome to the 𝗁x Connect community. Let me take you through the 𝗁x ecosystem. Step 1. Become a free or paid member. Step 2. Discover your passion by tuning into the 𝗁x daily night sessions, chatting with other members in the 𝗁x Discord community, and participate in 𝗁x virtual summits. Step 3. Unleash your true potential by equipping yourself with 𝗁x workshops and work with you challenges. Step 4. Begin your entrepreneurial journey by signing up for the Malaysia Ministry-endorsed 𝗁x 100 Days Business Startup Challenge, seeking business advice, or enrolling in the Advanced Business Coaching for pitching and funding. Step 5. Being the country's best entrepreneur community, 𝗁x has a wealth of resources such as business funding to accelerate your business, digital marketplaces to sell your products and services, and collaboration platforms to do networking and organize your favorite event, among many others. Furthermore, 𝗁x will also create business opportunities. All these are easily accessible and convenient for 𝗁x members. Step 6. In return, the 𝗁x alumni hope to bring together like-minded people and provide mentoring, internship and career opportunities to help the network grow. Pillars are used to uphold purposes. At 𝗁x, we believe that every entrepreneur should embark on a purposeful journey. 𝗁x is built on 7 pillars: financial intelligence, fitness and wellness, business and entrepreneurship, sales and marketing, personal development, love and relationship, and hobbies and leisure. Sign up as a 𝗁x member and start a purposeful journey.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Monday night. Hello again to all of you. So, good evening. My name is Chanel, and
my name is Yvonne.
So welcome to 𝗁x Podcast Financial. So there you go again. It is a Monday. So for those of you who are actually watching this on Facebook Live or YouTube Live or LinkedIn Live, we appreciate that you may actually go and share this live session to more and more of your people, to the groups, to also your own profile, so that more people will actually get benefited from the sharing tonight. Because tonight we actually want to go back to basic, to talk about a little bit about the millennials, okay? About how the finances and investing and the retirement are actually going for millennials, like people at our age currently. Yeah, so all to you, Yvonne.
At our age.
Yeah, at our age. Yeah, so from these tips, you can actually kind of tell, what kind of age we are in. Oh, I'm so sorry, but before we want to go into there, right, we will actually have something to share with you also, right? Yeah, so for those of you who are new here on 𝗁x Connect, so who we are now, also feel free to drop by a hi here to tell us that you're in here tonight. So we would like to tell everyone that 𝗁x Connect is a community that we formed since April or May 2020, when the first lockdown internationally happened. That was the first time that we actually formed it, and eventually it grew together to actually have this intention of helping the entrepreneurs in Malaysia, to form a very strong community, helping each other, supporting each other, whether it's, financially, whether it's entrepreneurial kind of support, if you're lacking certain knowledge, if you're lacking certain skills, or if you're lacking of collaborator partners, this is a place where you can actually go. And also, this is a place where, miraculously within just 2 or 3 months, we knew like 100, 200 people within just that short time of period. So that's how amazing it is, when community were being formed by just from the supporting each other, and we really treasure that. And that's why since then more and more moderators actually grew up to try to present every single night, just like us. Me and Yvonne, we are representing every single Monday, whereby every single day we will actually have different pillars, to help all the entrepreneurs, especially working. Because here, by you joining to make a special appearance. I think we are back to normal. Can you hear me currently? Yeah, Yvonne, could you hear me? Make it really interesting today, right? So what really trying to do in a community called networking, which is actually very, very hard to find because network is our net worth. Everything that we're doing right now is actually depending on our net worth. That's why this week we have decided to come up with something really interesting. Now, it's been really annoying part, that for the past so many months, we're not able to meet up with our friends. We're not able to even say a hi to our friends physically because of the COVID. But now things are actually getting better, right? Even though the cases are still on the rise, but we're trying to observe the SOP while still being able to meet up with people, isn't it? Yeah, Yvonne. Hello, Brenda. Yeah, so that's why this team, Yvonne, Josephine, and Jackie, had decided to come with something really very interesting this Wednesday itself. All right, which is we're gonna have 100x physical networking after so many months. I bet for those of you, the old members who have been with us since the very day one, I guess you all miss the physical networking that we used to have, right? I think the big one that we used to have previously was the durian gathering, the Thai food gathering, the badminton gathering, and I think a few more. That's why this time we decided to make it really very comfortable, right? To make this really interesting to everyone. Co-working space that is actually located at Icon City. So they have a couple of stories. If not mistaken, they have 5 stories of the co-working space, whereby like this space that you're actually seeing is what we call the stairs. It's actually to help everyone, to mingle around. And they also have like physical meeting rooms, lounge area to make everything networking really very casual and fun. Right. So for those of you who are available this time on this Wednesday, we strongly suggest that you can come over to enjoy the environment because we are still keeping this into our plan that moving forward, we may actually make this as a regular networking sessions at the same place. Yeah. So really, networking, network is your net worth. So don't forget to miss out this chance. Okay, do not miss out this chance to come and actually do some networking with the people here. And right now, we were just looking at the list. There are actually good numbers of people who registered. So do not miss out because we got limited packs due to the COVID SOP that's being observed. So we got to really be careful with the numbers as well. So if you really want to make more friends, especially coming from the same community, we do suggest that you can RSVP ASAP so that you can actually book your slot, yourself a seat. Yeah, so we will see you there on Wednesday. Okay, so not forgetting, since you're actually watching this live show on either Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, I bet that you could have know that we are all over the social media. So also do stay tuned and do also follow us on social media by liking us or follow us on all these pages here by just searching us up via our name or scanning our QR code. Okay, so there you go. Right, without further networking session this Wednesday, I'm really looking forward towards it. But before that, I guess that we got to actually go ahead with our sharing tonight. Yeah. So just a question here. Who is millionaire in the world? Right. Just now I was just asking Yvonne, like, who is actually the millionaire? Are those people who are born in the 2000 era? And she told me, no, Chanel, you're wrong.
Yeah. Millennials actually, the title today is Millennials Finances, how they think about finance, how they think about investment, and how they think about retirement. It is very different from our parents, our grandparents, which is the baby boomers or the Gen X. And so let's have a look at who are millennials to answer Chanel's question. Oh yeah, before that, we are the 100x Pocket Financial host. Chanel. She's an estate planner, insurance planner as well. She co-founded 𝗂property rental management company. She also does renovation as well. She owns a YouTube channel which educates public on insurance, asset planning, and financial related education, which is very niche in this part of the world. As for myself, I'm a certified coach to organize and teach financial literacy program, especially to kids, because it's 100% game based. And also, I successfully run these 2 camps in US and also in Indonesia as well. And besides that, everyone more known me as the Japanese teacher. Yeah, of course, because I'm a Japanese language enthusiast, and that's why I started YouTube channel, Japanese Playgroup as well. So go and check it out. So next, let's go into our title, our session today. So talking about millennials, right? So there's a the one that bonds, between the year of 1981 to 1996, they call themselves the millennials, or these adults are actually came of age during the dawn of the 21st century, which is the 1990s and the new millennials. That's why we are called the millennials. And IT, information technology, and we are the first batch of the so-called firstborn, first to be born into the digital world. Members of this group are considered as digital natives. So we are considered as the natives now. And Generation Y, also known as Generation, we are also known as the Generation Y as well, the millennials. Generation X is our parents. They are born from 1960 something onwards, 1960 something to 1980. And before that was baby boomers, and after us is Generation Z, which is the younger generation. So, millennial economy picture. What is our picture? How is our economy? How is it treating us, this generation?
I think this is like a question that is directed back to us. Like, how are we feeling today? Whether we are depressed financially or we are happy financially, right? I think.
Yeah, how is our future like deemed to be? In the research, it says that we are the people of millennials are the most uncertain economic future, facing the most uncertain economic future of any generation before us since the Great Depression. Facing wage stagnation, we are also facing where income are not increasing. Because the labor market isn't moving. As the oldest millennials, which is the 1980s, the one that is born in 1980s, early 1980s, they entered into the job market, and they are not going anywhere yet. They are not retired. They are still actively in the workforce. Hence, the employers have more power when negotiating wages. That makes the newcomer, the new younger generation, which is actually the after the 1990s, the 1986, making these people a little bit of a career going to this career trend. They cannot ask for more money because the workforce is full of the early millennials, which is the 30 plus up to the 40 plus. There's still a lot of them in the market, so they are nowhere near retirement. So this younger generation.
Right? That's why, right? Don't you realize that people nowadays, money is not the main thing when they're looking for a job as well, because they know that no matter how hard they're working at, their pay are also going to be stagnant. That's why ultimately you realize that a lot of people, a lot of the fresh grads, especially when they are actually going for their first job hunting, they will also question themselves this question whereby, like, what's in for me, right? Because I think nowadays starting pay can be 2005 this day, but it could also be the same 10-20 years ago, 2005. So right, but 2005 today, what can we afford? But last time, 10-20 years ago,
more things.
Yeah, but 10-20 years ago, houses were cheaper. Like, houses were maybe 5 times cheaper than today, right?
Yeah.
But 2005, you could actually do a lot of things. And I still remember my dad told me during his 20s, okay, if my dad is still around, he will be around 65 this year. But when he was alive, he said during the 20s, right, he has a friend who got a job at 1,005 ringgit, and that was
Oh,
so
that's a
high.
lot. That's
That's
a
a lot,
lot of
right? That's a lot,
money.
like 40
A
years ago.
lot. A lot
Yeah,
of money. I mean, 1,005 is like earning like a good 20 odd thousand income now, eh?
exactly. But the friend got
Yeah.
1,005 every single year for the rest of 30 years.
Huh? Why?
Because he didn't move. He didn't move around.
Oh.
Yeah, so initially it was great, but after a while you realize that, how come I am actually being paid the same as all the fresh grad? In fact, even though my dad
Oh.
said later on he got some pay rise, but the pay rise wasn't really a lot, right? So you may
Mm.
also question yourself, how come? I mean, let's turn the situation around, because when so if
My
40
line
years
is.
ago, a company
Mm.
can afford to give a fresh grad this pay, so how about 40 years later they are still offering this rate? Because I'm still seeing some companies who are offering like 1,000 something, 2,000 to certain people. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
actually very unfortunate to people nowadays, but things are actually going. So let's not talk about the problem now. Let's see, what's actually going more in detail these days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
next.
what are the trends now that's going on in the millennials' life? Is like because of the earlier problem where there's still a lot of work, there's still a lot of workforce in the market where there's the mobility is not moving, not transferring over. So those people that come in, right, they are expected to affect them the initial low earnings. All right, those that just started working, you don't expect like you can get high income. The raises are pretty low nowadays. Like how many industry can give you what 6 months bonus, 1 year bonus, even 3 months is like close to impossible. And also, like even a yearly increase would be only like what 0.5%, 1% kind of thing. So they are being this millennium, this new millennial, they are actually lesser able to save and invest, right? So this is the early years of their life. Then the reality is actually the record amount of debt they have a lot of debts they need to pay, especially those that is in the US. I'm not sure whether are you hearing me. Yeah, I scared my line is really bad. Is my line bad?
Are you saying like those education loans? Because in US it's actually very
Yeah.
common for most of them to take on the
Yes.
education loan because their parents don't prepare for them.
Yeah. So this is basically their kind of debt is the education loan. Whereas Malaysian, we are a little bit more. Malaysian kids are a little bit more labeled as we are more fortunate because a lot of the Asian parents the Asian parents has include the education loan funds into the parents responsibility. A lot of Asian parents would say that, oh, my
I rather
responsibility
live
is up.
poor.
Yeah, my responsibility is up to your university. But people from but parents, some parents from a lot of the Western parents, they actually the Westerners, their responsibility is up to your high school. So yeah,
Yeah,
this some
so
of
ask yourself this question. After you have started working, what have your parents sponsored you further? Is it a home? Is it a house? Is it a car? Or is it further living expenses because your first pay isn't very high? Just be honest
yeah,
here, right? It's
yeah.
actually very common in Malaysia, especially. Like I got to be friend with you. My first car was definitely from my parents. I drove it until
Mm.
only 3 years ago that I changed my car. So what about you, Yvonne? What was it that you actually got the support from your family?
Uh, I think nothing much though. We are quite independent per se. So yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, I have my first car was actually my sister-in-law's car. And then she got married into the family. She do not need the car. So then I just take over and it's just I think I can't remember, but it's just I think maybe I can't remember who paid that car. It's just a very low amount left, so we just continue paying it. So I think that is my first car experience though. Then after that, it's all on our own already. So yeah, I can't really remember.
Yeah, I've also heard of stories whereby some parents they don't mind to pay for the first down payment of their children's house, and then the children can go on to pay for the housing loan. So we will come to that later. Yeah. So this is the financial reality that we're talking about. Like, yeah.
Then we are also labeled as materialistic, spoiled, and saddled with a sense of entitlement. Is it true?
Papa,
Perhaps so.
my friend got this one.
Yeah.
Can you also buy me this? Are you talking about this kind of materialistic feeling? Like when they see that their friends have this, they also ask their parents for this. Are you saying
Yeah,
this?
I think so. I mean, a lot of thinking about our generation, a lot of people are think that I mean, parents has said they are part of their parents' saving lah, part of their parents' expenditure. So parents must pay. Parents ought to pay. It's their responsibility to pay. I think that's why it's called.
Tell you a very funny joke that happened to me in my high school. So, I mean, my family is the kind of family whereby if your things are not spoiled, that there's no need to change, right? So there was a time my watch really spoiled, and I couldn't be bothered, but it was my mother who said, hey, I think we should get you a new watch. Then I'm like, okay lah, whenever we are free, right? So I still remember there was one fine day, they got a very good digital watch. You know, in high school was a time when digital watch actually came quite popular. So I still remember I wore it out to my high school the next day. And then one of the friends saw it. Then she was like, oh my God, that watch is actually so beautiful. I say, oh, thank you. And the few hours later, she came to me. She asked, can I borrow your watch? I asked, oh, why would you want to borrow my watch for? I want to borrow and wear. I got a shock. I'm like, I totally didn't know how to react. Then I went to ask a few of my close friends, what should I do? My close friend said, your parents bought for you, right? Then why not you say, no, you this is my watch. I got to wear it because I got to know what time is it. So after that, she came and asked me again, right? I rejected her. I said, oh,
Are we live or who's stuck? Is Chanel stuck or am I stuck now? Oh gosh, I'm Chanel, are you there or am I stuck? Who is stuck?
I am back. I'm back. I'm back. I think
Oh, so
today the
Chanel,
internet is
you
trying to.
Chanel, you are stuck. I thought I was stuck. Oh,
No,
Chanel is stuck.
I think it is
Oh,
a internet thing today.
well,
You are
Kevin, you
using
know what?
Unify, right? You are using
Kevin,
Unify, right?
I'm using Unify. Yeah, I'm using Unify.
Unify has problem today.
Oh, you know,
Ah,
Kevin, you don't know us, me very well. It's like because my line is always very sucky. So I thought my line was down all this time. If I know that your line was down there, I would take over. I'm so sorry. You know, Chanel line is always very good, unlike mine.
yeah.
So
I also got a shock when I got stopped a few times. Oh, hi, Kevin. I was just talking to him just now. Yeah. So
oh,
let me finish my story. So the weird thing is, the following week, she actually went to ask her parents to buy the exact same watch. That shocked
wow.
me. That shocked me. And a few
Oh,
close friends of mine who actually knew the story were shocked too. They were like, oh, wow. So this is exactly, I think, materialistic since young.
yeah.
Because actually that
Um,
watch was very cheap, less than $100 bucks. But why would you
we
want
are
to get the same one as
yeah,
me?
we are spoiled in a way compared to our parents' ages lah. Because for me, like
Definitely.
my first I remember those were the days where baby G is really, really
I
very
think
trendy.
Baby
My
G were during our uni time, probably. Is it?
no, for me it's during my 13, 14 years old.
Oh,
My
okay.
first baby G was I think I was 13. of 12. I can't remember. I got it because my mom wanted me to admit to a hospital because I was not feeling well. And to coax me, I think she bought me a baby G.
Oh my God, what a spoiled kid you are. No, I get it.
I didn't ask for it per se, but that is the way. That's why it says
No,
that.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It go both ways.
Yeah, sense. It's kind of like a sense of entitlement, I suppose. That if that is what you think
But
is a
I
sense of
mean, to
entitlement.
get hospitalized to entitled for a baby G watch, we wouldn't want it lah, of course. But because since you already experienced it, okay, why not just take it?
Yeah. So then the next one will be the goal. What about the goal for the millennials trend? Is like they're not able to achieve life goal, as in not so easily like our parents or grandparents, because first, our wants is become more wild than them. It's also because of that as well. And also it's such as finding their dream job, buying a house, or retiring until much later in their life than previous generation did. Yeah, it's not so easy to buy houses or this thing anymore, right? So let's go inner and have a talk about more of that. The first thing is, let's have a look at their living expenses. You can relate back to yourself, because if you're a millennial, you're born in the millennium, you can relate back to yourself, all right? Most popular personal finance priority now, the popular ones are to have enough money for day-to-day living expenses. Perhaps not for you, Chanel, and myself, but generally speaking, is it true that it's just day-to-day living expenses is their priority now?
I think no. Buying the next new iPhone is probably the priority these days, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I think people
yeah.
work backwards this day. Like, okay, I want to buy a new iPhone next month when it's actually launching. So I'm actually counting backwards. How much can I leave on my food next month? So I think things have changed. I really have a client who will change every 6 months, whenever Apple launches a new phone. So to him is because to him is I just need to lose a few thousand every time I trade in the old one to get a new one.
Oh.
And yeah. So to him it's already a fixed cost every few months because he's a hard fan of Apple. So I guess the priority these days are actually quite luxurious for millennials as well. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
What about you, Yvonne?
And generally speaking, like Malaysian, and because it's harder for us to get an iPhone compared to our neighboring country like Singapore, because they even though they earn like 2,000-3,000, almost like us, but because their cost of living is much in the sense that their food and stuff like that is way lower than us slightly. I mean now it's almost the same, but for them to get an iPhone because of their currency as well, is way easier than us, because our currency is so low, already income so low, currency is also so low. So to get an iPhone is actually pretty difficult for us. We have to save maybe up to, that's why iPhone only launches once a year. Oh, I'm stuck.
Luckily they launch just once a year, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you're doing the part-time gig, the side gig at the bottom, less charge you.
Yes. So a lot of, I think so. Then also these people are facing a sluggish job market, and also postpone working in favor of getting higher education, because they know that even though I work now, I don't get much, so I go and study, that kind of mentality. And also a lot of them also make do with a part-time position or some gigs, to receive some extra income as well. So these are some of the trend that's going on for living expenses as well. So generally speaking, I think that is that a lot of people out there are like that. So next, becoming financially independent. A pretty big word for us millennials now. Being free from financial support
It seems like a wish out from. It seems like a wish from the fortune cookies, right? Everyone would wish for that to happen to themselves, right?
I think my time still able to, because that time when I came out, right, the housing are still not that expensive like now. We still can tahan to buy a house. even though in like around PJ area, still can afford. But unlike now, it's like totally absurd to buy a house even like in outskirts, like in maybe 𝗁𝗔𝗫. Even 𝗁𝗫 houses are like, it's big, but it's still not cheap. It's
Millions.
like few, it's like five, no, it's not millions, but it's about $500,000-600,000, 500-600 ringgit. Whereas last time when we graduate out, right, a condo is only like 300.
But
Yeah,
come to
still
think of
can
it,
afford.
I mean,
It's only I don't know who is stuck, but let me
housing
continue.
are actually getting really tough.
I think 𝗁𝗔𝗫𝗃 is pretty bad. So let me just continue a little bit. So I hope it's not my line. So during my time when we graduate, it's like houses is like 200,000-300,000. We only need to pay like 1,600 per month, or
Not
less
sure
than
who's stuck
2,000
right now.
per month.
Yeah,
I don't know who is stuck. So compared to currently, houses are like at 500 minimum to start off with, 600 to start off, 400 to start off with, which your installment will rack up to like 2,000-3,000 a month. So yeah, so being independent is really difficult now. So being free from the financial support from the parents doesn't make it easier, for a lot of millennials, which is living paycheck to paycheck. So a lot of them, they're still living with their parents. And
even living with parents, right, is still quite tough to a lot of them.
yeah. And some of
Okay,
them,
so it's me. Sorry, it's me who got stuck. Everyone
okay,
say
good.
that.
Okay. So accumulating wealth isn't just about cutting expenses alone. A lot of them like say that, oh, I don't drink Starbucks, I can. Yeah, of course, reducing this kind of unnecessary expenses can help you to save a little money. But talking about accumulating wealth, right, it actually requires a longer planning and longer thinking as well. So focusing less on being stingy but rather move more broadening your earning capacity, like what me and Chanel think always advocate. What we all must do is like doing more extra, building your pipelines and stuff like that. So you have to continue to learn, continue to go for a lot of education to learn things that you need to, and also your work experience, for example, can increase the worth of your income. So these are the things that, in order for you to be financially independent, it's a thing that you need to do. It's really to increase, your education and all these things. It's a must now. So there's a lot of courses now, and take advantage of the free. A lot of them giving out free to learn one or two things that is related to your industry. So let's go to the next. Chanel back. Okay, Chanel is back. So what about getting out of debt for these millennials? A lot of them are struggling. But then again, there's also, you can leverage on it, like what the green color bubble there. And debt is not all that bad after all. So let's have a look at what is it all about, okay? Talking about struggling, because there's a lot of paying off debts has become increasingly difficult because of the low income that we are talking earlier, and there's some people don't even get a job now. But for many who are struggling with unemployment and low paying job, like what I mentioned, and paying bills like credit card on time is very crucial to building a credit rating, and also not eat into the high interest rate. So people are struggling to do this kind to pay off their debts. But then you can also leverage. For example, you need to have money. When you need to take a loan to buy a car, even though you have the cash, you ought to take a loan. Like, even though you have, for example, money to get to buy a house, it's advisable to actually get a loan, so that what happens is, like, you have extra money. You take a longer loan and you have extra money to build your retirement nest, not to spend, but to also think about the retirement side, to build a retirement nest. You can leverage on the funds when compounding interest is most in your favor. Actually, everyone will regret when they're 20 years old and they do not save that much or keep on spending, because that is the best time for you to, the compounding interest. The younger, a lot of people say, oh, as the old saying goes, the younger you are, the compounding interest is way better at your benefit, because of the year, the time.
Wow. You
Oh,
got to
wow.
have some regret for you to regret over, right? So
Yeah.
that you can move on your life, or else you will also be somehow have another kind of regret, because a lot of people, they spend money because of what? Pleasure and instant gratification. So they could have spent the money for traveling, for expensive cafe hopping and things like that. So perhaps they had a very good time. And I see actually the both ways. Are like, some people actually, they may regret overspending, and some people, they may regret for not spending. So that's why I
But
think
then,
as human, we just need to strike a balance lah, not to be over. Yeah.
But I think, for example, talking about cafe, if your hobby is cafe hopping, then perhaps to me, like I have friends who actually love cafe hopping and make it to an not say a career, but they make it as an extra gig for them to earn money, because they
Like
become
how? Like how?
because
Is it video taking?
no, they go a lot of cafe, and cafe ask them to go and take some beautiful photos and put it on Instagram and post it. And even if it's not monetary, they send them food, free food. So there are a lot of gigs like that. That's what they call a gig, right? It's not really their main income, but there are gigs like that. So, which my friends are doing. A lot of people that I know, doing this kind of side gigs. You don't get money perhaps when you're not so famous yet, but you get a lot of free food. They want you to promote, take
They want
photos
you
and
to
stuff
do
like that.
review because you got a thing in
Yes.
the FMD line and
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
things really need time to build up. But before you
Yeah.
want to build up the thing, like, what's the passion? Yeah, like I think I kind of
Yeah.
agree with what Yvonne said as well. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what has that got to do with your debts? Yeah, let's continue.
Yes, continue. And another part of it getting said is like, debt is not that bad after all. Like what Chanel always says, debt is not that bad. You still need a little bit of debt in the company, and so she always says that.
You
For
know,
individual,
if you're having zero debt, you can never ever get a loan approved. Like, very
exactly.
very minimal, you need to have a credit card to show and you need to use it. You need to owe the bank a little bit of money, and then you need to show that you are paying it instantly, because that's the only way that bank can judge whether you're a good paymaster. So that's when you
Mm,
can leverage on to get a bigger loan, right? Let's say it's a
mm,
housing loan for a stay or for an investment.
mm. Yeah, this is what Chanel says is correct. Like, help you to establish a good credit history, because if you don't have this kind of credit debts, the bank cannot judge you. Even though a little bit, yeah, I should have get a credit card too. So more favorable interest rate, because they see you pay very well, and once you pay very well, you will definitely get calls from the banks to ask you to give you a better rate and stuff like that, right? So taking a loan for house or higher purchase allows you to have more cash remains available to put forward something else, like what I said just now, getting a loan, right? So allows you to actually have extra money to invest and build your retirement nest. So we're talking about debts, and let's go what's next. So what about millennials saving for big purchases? Oh, such happy couple there, having sold to them their beautiful house, but unfortunately this is not very a dream come true for many millennials. Unfortunately, lenders are imposing stricter guidelines for major type of financing, such as mortgage finance. It's very hard to get mortgages, especially after the bubble. The subprime, I think a lot of banks are actually tightening as well. Millennials need to be able to make a substantial down payment if they want to purchase a home. But I think in Malaysia, Chanel, I think this is kind of like, if you can prove your income, I think it's okay, right? What do you think now, Chanel, for housing?
That's why a lot of the people, younger people, will opt for projects, Like they promise you 3 years or 4 years down the road, you will get your house, zero down payment, things like that. But just a little note for everyone who's actually planning or you have already bought a project. Actually, project properties are actually based on future value. So even though they are telling you that, oh, it's actually a zero down payment, actually they have already factored in all those. In fact,
Exactly.
if they're telling you it's a 600,000 it's a 600,000 value on S&P, but zero down payment. Now, do bear in mind that actually the actual cost of it could be only like 500,000. I mean, why would people
Mm.
want to sell you a 600,000 thing at a loss? People wouldn't want to do that. So what they're foreseeing the 600,000 is a
It's a for future value. I think what Chanel is
future
trying to
value
say.
when they sell it to you 4 years later. The true
That's why
it stops
the
every time when I want to say the true fact. The true fact
yeah.
is, yeah, the true fact is 4 years later, right? When you're getting your key, it may not be even be able to be sold at 600,000. This is what
Agree,
is actually
totally agree.
happening. So we got to be careful, lah. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Yeah, that is a lot, especially in Malaysia's
always do
marketing.
your own homework in the yeah,
I think
correct. So
especially
you
in
just
Malaysia's market.
because there are many projects going around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I
just
think we are kind of in dilemma. Like we want sub sale, but sub sale, how many people can afford due to the down payment and the legal fee, the
sales,
stamp duty?
there's too many fees to pay. But then again, the
Mm,
prime area, already the land is so
millions,
limited.
millions.
Yeah, and of course you want to stay back at the prime area, but the first thing first, there isn't any new development. Even there are, as what Chanel said, is future value, and you want to buy sub sales, right? There's a lot of fees to fork out, really, like such as down payment is more, all the stamp duties and etc. etc. So yeah, it's really a lot of and unless you can get a very very good buy. Okay. So the next is bank these days might be a safe place to store your cash, but it's not necessarily the smartest place to put it. I think by now, all of you who actually
Yeah.
hear from us since August last year, right, would definitely agree to this. There's so much other place like stock market and other etc. So many other places to store your money or to invest your money rather than banks. So, of course, bank is a place to keep a small emergency fund. After all, it is a PIDM insured, but the bulk of your savings should be elsewhere. All right, this is what the article suggests. What is PIDM? PIDM is Deposit Insurance Malaysia, but I don't think they kind of promise a lot of money. So a lot of people they actually have a lot of banks because they know PIDM only insure a certain amount for each of your accounts. So there you go. Next. What about millennials or is planning for the future? Do you think about your future, Chanel?
Sorry, I lost you for a bit. I just came back. Were you
Do
calling
you do
me?
you yeah do you think about your future, like your retirement and
Oh,
stuff? Have you ever start thinking?
I think about it almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
I did my P&L today and yesterday until 2 a.m. Yeah, like thinking of where should I go next, which investment should I go next, and is it okay if I refinance the house, to get the cash to park the investment somewhere else? Yeah, because I realize financial planning is something really wonderful. Like if you want to play magic towards it, by just parking something that you actually you have right now, your resources that you have into the right financial tool, right? You'll be able to actually see the results and harvest without doing a lot of effort. Yes. So you just need to know what is the resources around. Yeah, Edward said the right thing for the PIDM, right? 250,000.
up to 50 per account saving only. So it's like a lot of them with more than this amount will actually move on to, Hi, Edward. It's nice seeing you here.
Yeah, it's
Because
been
you
a
are
while, right?
Yeah, you definitely is a no, Edward, is it a millennial? Or he's a Z? I think he's Generation Y, right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
perhaps Edward, you can tell us which gen you actually belong to, because
Yeah, and
we should
generation.
we should be quiet on his age.
Yeah, we should
he
be.
says.
Yeah. Because until 1996, so I'm not sure whether you're before 1996 or after 1996. Yeah, it has been a while. So let's continue with the planning for the future. Retirement saving plans are currently structured, makes it very hard for younger people to put money aside, such as contribution. This is a little bit of a US context, but then again, it's also a lot of time is us that we need to save. Unlike last time, their pension and stuff like that. The days are gone, so a lot of your savings are all voluntarily, but Malaysians employment are pretty blessed because you are still considered lucky because your employer do contribute your EPF for you. So which you need to thank the system.
Your employer.
Yeah, your system have this in place for you because there's a lot of companies, a lot of countries out there that do not have EPF. Yeah, so Singapore and ourselves, for those that's employed, congratulations, you are still kind of safe. You still have money, and some good companies give up to 19%. I think 17 or 19%. Like big companies like Shell, like Ericsson, like big MNCs, they're paying very high for your savings. So it's a good thing. All right. So fraying of economy and also social safety nets over the past 40 plus years has left retirement saving vulnerable to emergency drawings. You can see like recent COVID cases, one COVID case in your family, just like one maybe COVID, you have to go and do all the swab tests. My family is fine. We have only 3, but can you imagine like family with 5 kids, right? I think Chanel, you have a lot to share on this because I think you went COVID like how many times? 3 times.
Sorry, I went swab test, not COVID.
Oh, sorry, I mean the swab test. I mean, like a lot of them, just a little bit of information, or maybe people that's contact to us, sure, we have to go and still do the COVID test, right? So
I still remember that time when the swab test, was starting to be popular. I remember there was one time, it was out of so many moons after I was trapped at home, I finally went out to just meet 1 or 2 clients. And I think after that, I came back home, the client told me, Chanel, I'm a close contact. It's fine. Then I went to do swab tests. Okay. And no. Sorry. It was a tenant. Out of the blue moon, my mother followed me that day. Okay. And she decided to take off her mask and talk to the tenant.
oh gosh.
The tenant was eating and talked to auntie. After that, while I was done, I didn't know that she took off her mask. I just saw she took off her mask for a while, so I thought she went to the toilet or something. After that tenant told us that the next day, the tenant told us that I am a COVID positive. So I told my mom, why do you take off your mask that day? You don't lie. I think I saw you taking off. No, I only took off for a while. But you talked to her, right? Yeah, but it was not that near. It was, I think it was 0.5 meters or 1 meter or 2 meters like that. I think around there. I'm like, fine, forget about it. Let's do swab test. And my mom said, can we don't do? I said, no, you have just dragged all of us into a swab test family. So me, my sister, my brothers, all we have to go. So finally, we were all negative, and 2 weeks due, when we thought that it was great, then I went out to meet people. And that's when the people that I meet told me I'm a close contact. So that means what? That means I'm the second contact, right? So again, I had to go and do my test done, and then I had to be quarantined for another 2 weeks again. 2 weeks after 2 weeks. So that's why that time after that I felt very sick. I say, okay, it's fine. I would rather choose not to go out anymore. I that.
Because
Yeah.
doing it is also really not cheap, you know. It's like a family of 5 of you. How many of you? 5, 6 of you. I think it's easily
Yeah.
cost you about
Five
1,000
of
plus.
us, thousand
Yeah,
something, and you don't do once, you
yeah.
do twice.
Oh yeah, and the before and after. Yeah. You do
And
twice.
it doesn't feel good to be tutup like that. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh,
I
it's
I
actually the feeling. Oh my god.
I didn't do, but my daughter did. My daughter, I did the cheaper version, which is the nose.
I
Wait,
always do PCR, but it's still like it's just
yeah,
yeah.
it's not nice
And
feeling. What
yeah.
Everett say? Oh, Everett is Gen Y. Okay.
He
So,
is in the middle. He's in the middle.
oh, middle. Okay. Yeah, I got to know as recently if base salary less than 5K, minimum 13%, more than 5K, 12%, which is a lot of monitoring compounding them monthly. Yeah, I know, right? I think he's talking about EPF as well. Right,
Yeah,
EPF, right?
he
Yeah.
is.
A,
Because
a lot
you
of,
imagine now your employer, right, on top of your salary, they still need to pay 12-13% to help you into
mm,
your ETF. Actually, it's a very great thing, you know. It's like people helping
yeah,
you to do a regular savings every month.
yeah. That's why, like my husband is about 19, 19%. His
Wow.
company, yeah.
Ming you very
So
kaya.
he's not kaya, come on. He's a foodie, not kaya. Okay, no, we cannot have coffee talk like that. So yeah,
Okay,
basically,
okay, let's move on.
yeah. So they're talking about the EPF and stuff like that. Yeah. So we're talking. That's now Edward already tell
Yeah,
you it's about
so we're
13 to
talking about how to
12%.
plan for your future. Now that we know EPF, yeah, your employer is helping you, but there's also news saying that people who retire after their job, they only less than I mean many very few of them, right, can last for 3 years.
So
More than
true.
3 years.
Ah,
Yeah. Why? It's because all this while, if you have not built your financial literacy, you just think that, oh, all of a sudden, I'm actually so rich. I am actually 1 million richer. So I go and plan, okay, I want to go for a holiday, I want to buy a car, I want to buy a house. Then there you go, within 2 or 3 years, there you go, all your APF are done. And you're back to a
yeah.
square one. And you're wondering, okay, I'm actually so old.
Oh,
Will anyone
by
hire me?
by the way, right? By the
Yeah.
way, I don't know how many of you know about this. As you know that if you are you can take out some percentage of your EPF for investment, but it's a very limited investment funds, right? So I just my Elaine just got a client who is working for a big company and she found out herself that if your EPF is above 1 million, you could actually take your extra money to invest in other vehicles, not so limited to the funds that you know, like from some of the local companies or local. So something that you can go and check it out in EPF. It's but your balance must be your balance must always be above 1 million. Then you can the extra of that million you can take and invest in other vehicles. So take note on this. Those that have EPF that's above 1 million, something to note of. So next, my partner is away. So the question is now, can millennials retire, right? Let's have a look. Many are hoping that either they are lot. There's a research. There's this not say research, but there's studies from I think out of 100 people, 126% actually says they hope that either their lottery ticket purchase will pay off, or they will inherit the money and use for retirement saving. If you're lucky enough, you can inherit some money. So it's not very realistically to think towards this way. And also many out of that study, many of them underperceive the cost of expenses after retirement. A lot of them thought they only need like 30,000, for example. But in actual fact, uh, it says the calculation is about 50 over thousand per year. So it's about 20,000 below what they have planned, they initially planned. So I think the conclusion is plan more better than plan less, right? So the next is millennials vastly underprepared for retirement. because they are avoidance of the stock market. So a lot of them, like our generation, we know stock market could give us a good yield, but then again, it's because of some of our relative or some of our friends or our parents or parents' friends that we heard of that actually burn themselves really badly. So when it comes to our generation, right, a lot of us are quite wary about stock market, and quite scared about stock market, and sounds scary to go in, because of the experience that we heard from our parents. And also, but this wariness is understandable because of our experience, but it's also very detrimental, right? Because the opportunity is there and you did not go and grab the opportunity. So it's really, so the stock market over a long haul has produced rate return of hovering around 10% in average. And those who start investing young benefited from those extra years. Many investment vehicle out there, which is safe and which is regulated, I would say, 10% is pretty high, because many of us know that inflation is about 6%, 7%. So anything above that 10% is pretty good. So yeah, stock market is maybe a vehicle that you should go and study, and you should go and learn about it. Self-investment is very important, very crucial. Next, how millennials invest. So let's look at the millennials thinking about those that are not so wary and not so afraid of it. Let's have a look. Millennials can sometimes be wary about investing, of course, like many of us. The availability of social media tools is making it easier and more comfortable for this age group to learn, which is very true. There's a lot of copy trades out there. You just need to follow someone that reasonably good, trustable. Then perhaps you can follow them and their copy trading and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think Yvonne's husband and me, we are in certain copy trade kind of platform, whereby we attend a certain guru, we listen to his report from now and then, and then we only do copy trade. Yeah, he always tells us that he's not a guru, but he is an investor himself.
Yeah, the thing is, I like practitioners rather than guru. Teachers don't do it. Teachers just teach.
They may not have done it practically on the field.
Exactly.
So I think the copy trade is really good, because not only that it saves your time, but you also know that what they are doing actually by attending their reporting quarterly, by knowing their analysis, listen to them, and if you feel good, then you can just copy their trade and actually go ahead with it.
And the returns are pretty. The returns are pretty good. I look back at my husband. I look at my mom's one, right? Very good returns. Perhaps you can just, we don't say names here, so you can just ping Chanel or myself, and we can tell you more. Okay. Yeah.
And not only that, I still remember last month we invited Ans, right? Ans our group director to come in to actually share with us about the RPS, the Redeemable Preference Share, which right now is actually quite a hit, in the market right now, whereby if anyone is actually looking for the passive income, rather than just invest into the normal share of a pre-IPO, we can actually go in as a RPS investor, which is in a way is a safer variety as well. So to me, is we can actually go a few ways. Like if you think copy trade is a little bit risky, you can actually go for a conventional company kind of investment via RPS. After you know what they are doing, you can just go in as an investor and you get a fixed rate of income, which the income is pretty good. Like you get 1 to 3% every month.
4%.
4%, no, 1 to 3%. I think 4% you got to invest for a very big, huge sum of amount.
I think
1 to 3%.
The huge amount is about 6 to 7%. The huge one, which a lot of us That one is another one. The one that I think the other one, the normal one is about 3 to 4%, I think, per month.
I'm not talking
Right?
about. I'm not talking about timing and you. I'm talking about the
No,
other
no, no.
one,
Talking about our ends.
the
I'm talking about ends.
RPS.
Yeah, I'm talking about ends.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
only
there are
1 to
actually
3%.
a lot of packages. Yeah. So that they actually share with
Mm.
me that the higher tier one is around 3% per month. So can you
Mm.
imagine per annum, how much it is? So
Yeah.
you can actually tell, like, if let's say you want to really use it into the rule of 72, how many years can your investment actually double up? So that's actually more important. You got to have a plan here.
Yep.
Yeah. So of course, our time and our grandparents and parents' time are different. Their time probably they will tell you to work hard, do hard savings, buy a property, buy this and buy that, maybe buy blue chip shares. But right now,
Mm.
when you open the share market listing, you really have no idea at all right now which one is still the valid blue chip anymore. This is the dilemma that a lot of people are having.
Yeah. Some AAA company can even drop up to bankruptcy. So that's really very uncertainty now. Even Facebook, such a big company, had to go through such a change of name and stuff like that. You don't know what's going to happen to this blue chip as well. There's no certainty at all nowadays. So then also millennials are approaching investing in an entirely different manner from their parents or grandparents. While baby boomers only put away an average of 11% for investing, millennials who can save put away as much as 18%. Yeah, I see a lot of actually younger generation. They really try to like live not frugal, okay? They try to live average, and they have the financial literacy. They know what is financial literacy all about. Hence, they know that just by putting away another maybe 9 to 10%, just maybe eat less, 1 2 good meals a month, they can actually accumulate more with the money. So yeah, nowadays millennials are pretty smart as well. Next. Continue with the how millennial invest nowadays. They are now leveraging on social networking platforms, website, and mobile apps to do everything from following up stock picking tips. I think me and Chanel does.
Congratulations to you all because you are watching us on social media as well. A big thumbs up
Yeah.
to you all first.
Yes. So yeah, we do that as well. Oh, sorry. Anyone leave any?
No. I think
Okay.
Calvin left a comment about 1997. That was because of the crisis, probably.
Yeah, the financial crisis. Oh, so you are born in 1997. Which one? So
No, he's
yeah.
definitely not born in 1997. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know him. All right. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So today it takes only a few clicks on the app for millennials to review a prospectus, get advice, and even commit a fund, which is so true, right? There's so many platforms that we're using now. It's like just a few buttons. It's such a few clicks and log in and stuff like that.
Exactly. Nowadays, you
So
want to buy
easy.
shares. You don't even need to
Yeah.
go through your reminder already. You just need to click
No.
on your stock trading app, few click away,
Yeah.
then you bought your stock. Yeah, the
I
only
know, right?
prerequisite is you got to have your savings. That's all. If you got enough savings,
Yeah.
then you can just buy anytime. Very easy.
Exactly. Talking about that. Yeah, it's like really just a few clicks away, seriously. Yeah. So, baby boomers spend this is baby boomers, yeah. They only spend
Ah.
2 hours reviewing their investment each month, whereas millennials dedicate up to about 7 hours a month for their investment. Because why? Because of financial literacy, because of social medias, because of a lot of platforms, a lot of technologies that allow a lot of AI, a lot of this kind of copy trade, allow them to easily to learn up this skill. To me, investment is a skill, and also to have this kind of hours, just doing research on your investment and also looking at all the investment tips, studying about it. It's so much easier. Can you imagine last time there's no internet? You have to, I don't know how. Your
You have
reminder
to
lor.
listen to your grandpa. You have to listen to the uncles who come
Yeah.
along the way.
And reminders as well. Like if your reminder is not that good, then the information is not that accurate. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
So I
that's
need
why
this.
thank goodness we are in this era. Be
Yeah.
happy, everyone. Be
Yeah,
happy.
be happy. Be happy. So let's come to the live view. What is live view? Later we will ask about our live view, Frequently dubbed as an instant gratification generation.
YOLO. You only live
YOLO,
once.
you're
Do it
one.
now or
Do it now.
never.
Now on yeah, it's so true, right? So true. They
They are
want to
all
put
over in the song lyrics today, like these days.
yeah, I know. Yeah, and we share something later. So they want to pursue ambition now, whether that means going for a dream job right out of college, working for someone else, promising startup. A lot of them are quite willing to work for startup nowadays, or creating a location independent business. Like a lot of YouTuber, they are from US or from Europe. They come over to the east, and they just do like Bali. They stay in Bali, or they stay in Phuket, or they stay in even Japan, very cheap outskirt, very very cheap, and they start their business, their YouTube or whatsoever part-time business. So they are not bounded by location anymore. Then they want a job that allows a great work-life balance while they are young, so they don't have to wait to travel, create their own non-profit, or pursue their hobbies. A lot of, actually, you think about it, that the travelers are actually the agents. If you go to, I have friends in America. When I was having a course there, and I have a lot of friends there, they actually never, they are from the East. They are about 20 over years old, 30. They haven't even go to the West before. Means they're from New York, for example, or they're from New York. They haven't even traveled to California before. So because traveling is really not something the Western, the American, or some of the Westerners do. Unlike Asia, right? And you ask any Asian, it's like everyone can fly. Everyone's flying, everyone's going for holiday. So that's why the Asian culture is a little bit different from the Western. They don't travel that much. So they may even be planning not to retire at all because they love their work. Me and Chanel can a bit share about this one. Chanel, let's talk about a little bit of your live view.
My live view. Oh, wow, this is so tough. What kind of live view? You talking about
Live view.
financially or
Let's talk about your 4 hours, your plan for your work and stuff like that. Yeah.
my plan for my work? I okay, maybe I just share my passion. My passion in life, right? It's not about what business I'm in. I'm actually very curious in finding out how to have different businesses. Like 3 years ago, I started a new business. Like last year, I started a new business. Right today, I may consider another new business. But to me, is you can call it business or you can call it pipeline. Like the purpose of it, yeah lah. One of it is maybe can earn more money, but actually the main reason is actually to validate whether what ideas I have, whether it will come into truth or not. So I'm the kind of person who really wants to see something that comes into fruition. Yeah, that's why expanding from businesses to businesses, right? It's actually something fun to me. So, but of course, being involved in a couple of businesses on your own is actually a very tough thing. That means you're very committed to your time. That's why I'm actually practicing something like which is to give back to myself. I will only work on certain hours. So you may realize that on certain hours, you may text me and I'm actually not replying. That's because I choose to put the phone away. Yeah, because a lot of times I realize that I spend too much time texting clients, texting the colleagues or affiliates on work matters. Like that day, Yvonne actually woke me up. Whenever I talk to Shana, it's all about work, which I realized, oh yeah, I think it's true. That's why I start to talk a lot more casually about other stuff with my friends whenever we meet up.
Did
Not
I
work
say that?
anymore.
When did I say that? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you said it. You said it,
Oh,
and you meant
when?
it, and it hit me
When
really
was
hard.
that?
I'm
Oh,
not. No, I
really?
don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you.
I
Yeah.
think it's a restaurant
So
that day, right? Yeah.
no, not restaurant. It was way before.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
So you got to know what life means to you. Then when she actually slapped me really hard on this statement, right? Yeah, why am I working so hard, right? For things, for all this fruition, because life is actually not just that. Right? We deserve to have a love life. We deserve to spend more time with our family. We deserve to actually do more traveling, even though now we cannot do it, but we can get it prepared anyway, right? Staycation these days are actually very cheap. So we can do all sorts of things. And I think we really fit in the millennial because I don't
Yeah.
plan to only retire to enjoy all this. I plan to do a little bit here and there while still being able to enjoy. Like you can go online meeting anywhere you want. You can just change your environment from your room to your hotel. Why not? At a
Yeah.
very good budget. Yeah.
And
So why not
it's just
try it?
like me. I teach Japanese, right? I can literally I just need basically my camera, my laptop, make sure my charger is there. I think basically this machine here in front of me allows me to teach my Japanese anywhere around the world, anywhere. So it's pretty,
Exactly.
yeah, it's
And
very
I bet
easy.
that you have not seen most of your students before physically.
Um, you're right, except the first batch because they are all my mommy friends. After that, I don't know any one of them. We are all in a way strangers to me. Yeah.
And one true fact also, because ever since I'm still hit, right? I mean, this year I started to also close deals online without even having met the client before physically. I mean, we have met online before a few times, but
Yeah.
until now, we have not met each other physically. So I think things could happen. I mean, it doesn't mean that you got to meet them physically to build a relationship. Of course, things are really good, you can, but it is possible that, you can work remotely at times. Make yourself
But
physically available sometimes, right?
but this one also will involve trust level as well. So
Yeah,
a lot of trust is involved. So people that's not good can take advantage of this convenience and this take for granted this trust as well to do bad things and stuff like that.
that's why you must build your branding. Always
Yeah.
establish online branding because
Yeah.
if your name
Yeah.
can be found on Google search, then
Yeah.
this is what this is what Dato James told us. If your name can be found through Google search, at least your credibility is already 50% won by people who search you up. Yeah,
And it's not.
establish that.
Yeah. Uh, of course, if you want to know how, you can also ping us out. Anything
Yeah, you can
out
ping
of
us,
the
you can ping
topic,
us. We
anything
work
that's
really hard for
out of
all this.
yeah, anything
We
that's
work
out of the
really hard on all
financial
this.
thing,
Yeah. Out
any
or
out of
in
the
also you all
finance.
can ping us.
Yes, exactly. Our financial thing, we shall ping the pila, okay? So we don't to take so much of all this timing.
Yeah, because there are a lot of Ewons in the world, there are a lot of Shana in the world. Why people
Yep,
want to
yep.
pick you? Right?
Yeah.
You're definitely a special one. Yeah, so next.
Next, entrepreneur for life. I shared this subject is also because of 100x as well. Um, I find that there's a lot of things that we want to do for the millennials, or we want to do for entrepreneur. People that do not know how to do it. That's why that give me a thinker like why I should share today's topic as well. Let's go into millennials and entrepreneurship for life. Many millennials see themselves working forever, surprisingly, right? But not because they envision a lifelong career, not like our parents' time or the Japanese where they want to lifelong career to climb up the corporate ladder, but because of their passion of what they're doing. As long as they are doing something that you like, you do not need to retire. And even if you are planning to work throughout your life, you still need to okay. This is something a little bit one step ahead. You still need to save for retirement. You also need to a safety net in case you don't work forever, because of illness, disability, another touch wood COVID and stuff like that, or because you are pushed out of your job and can't find another. Let's like let's say you are on a part-time on a project base and the project has done and you got no other project at hand. So if one day also because if one day you change your mind and you appreciate having the flexibility that that retirement saving will give you, making your money work for you is a good idea no matter what your life plans are.
Yeah,
Very
that's a saying. There's a saying, entrepreneurship is not a job, it's a journey.
yep.
So along the way, enjoy it. But of course, along the way, if you're an entrepreneur who has a financial literacy, to also help you along the way, why not? It's actually
Why
a
not?
very good bonus.
Yeah. A lot of actually, like some of the tips that I can give or I'm doing is like I have a lot of people they do what you call that auto debit, like auto debit, right? Like you don't see every month, you just you just instruct your bank to go into to pay your bills and stuff like that. But a lot of them are paying you. What about, there's a lot of platform now that you can do auto transfer, like instruction to go to investment accounts. Like I have investment accounts where I don't even see uh like every month the money just automatically goes into the investment account. So I think this some of the thing that perhaps you can do, and so that you don't go and look at it, and stuff like that. So
Yeah, if it's
yeah,
complicated, simplify it. If it's simple, automate it.
do it.
Yeah,
Automate it,
really.
right?
Yeah,
Exactly,
automate.
automate it.
Use the technology to leverage on your convenience.
Yes, agree, totally agree on this. So there's also a new trend. I don't know. I've heard this, but I did not do a lot of studies on this thing called extremely early retirement. So this guy
Oh,
Jacob,
we have a member in 100S who actually practiced this, and I think you know who.
that
Yeah, yeah,
who I don't
but
know.
not until so frugal lah. Like, yeah,
Oh, okay. Later we can or you
yeah.
can tell.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. This guy Jacob Lundfisker, he's a creator of the Early Retirement Extreme website, perhaps the best known advocate for retiring incredibly early in life. Extreme early retirement isn't for everyone. It's because you must willing to be weird, the weird one, by doing things such as limiting your household food budget to maybe it was actually about 50 USD to about 100 over USD, but it's about 200 to 400 ringgit per person per month. Not owning a car, forgoing cable television or your so-called Netflix or whatsoever, and chewing a fancy wedding and pricey honeymoon, skipping grad school unless you receive a full scholarship, and shunning expensive housing. And this guy, Jacob Lundfisker, he's staying in the San Francisco Bay Area. So if you know about San Francisco Bay Area, it's one of the most expensive place to stay in US. And he's and for that, right, even for that matter, he's only using like 7,000 USD per year. That's insane, isn't it? In San Francisco Bay Area, and you're only using 7,000 a year. I don't know how I don't know. We all should go and look him up later, okay? Jacob Lundfisker. But by sacrificing a consumer-driven lifestyle, you may be able to amass a large amount of nest egg at a relatively young age to be able to retire very early, even at age 30, as Fisker did, and live off your investment income. Smart. So are you willing to give up that instant gratification like this guy did? And before 30, he's retired. His life just started. For many people, 30 years old, life have not even started yet, as he's already retiring, right? So yep. You want to say anything about this extreme early retirement, Chanel?
Actually, if you watch the show on YouTube, I totally
Mm,
forgotten the name. It's about the
mm,
people who are so broke because they owe so much credit card debt, who really go very frugal. Yeah, I think Yvonne, you have seen the show before.
mm.
So, uh, those financial advisors will definitely come into picture, and then they will actually go and figure out what is the credit card that the person has, like each card,
Mm.
how much is it having the debt, and then they literally in front of the camera they will cut off all the credit cards.
Ouch.
Okay, consolidate all the debts, and then they will ask the person who is in deep trouble. So how much wage you're getting? Okay, you are having a 2,000 wage. Okay, so you're gonna live on $50 this week. So for a spendthrift like them, that means even though they are earning 2,000, they could have been having the habit of spending 6,000 every month. Wow! Suddenly you cut my budget to only $50 every week. It's actually very tough for me. So every day, right, the cameraman will follow them all around to see what they spend on. So they will start to actually look out for things very cheap. Last time they would have bought expensive coffee, expensive breakfast, right? Or that's when they really go and buy cereal on sale, cereal that's on sale, vegetable on sale. Instead of buying from the stores, buying from the restaurants, they cook their own food. Sometimes they even ask a friend if they have leftover food so that they can just use the leftover food to cook. So frugality actually put into place, and actually it's a very true fact to show people, right, how frugal people and how poor people really behave, and that is how they really learn their lesson. That's one. And secondly is they finally realize that they got to pay a big lesson for the mess that they have caused. Like the big debt doesn't just come overnight. It could have been built, over months and years, right? But for them to actually mitigate all these problems that they have created, they got to have all these problems. Of course, initially some of them cried. Yeah,
It's
because
not
it means
easy.
yeah, like there was a family every time when it's a Thursday, they will go and shop for those videotapes last time. They will buy a few videotapes back home. But do you think it's necessary to buy new videotapes that cost you a few couple of hundred every single week, right? So they cut them off the expenses. They ask
And
them to rent instead. So second thing is, I still remember this girl always buy those Chanel, Dior makeup, very expensive makeup, but she only just buy, but she never use it.
wow.
So they kind of like cut her budget, use really very cheap drugstore cosmetic. Like rather than buying a $50, why not you just buy a $5 kind of cosmetic, which she did, and she said, in fact, I never realized that $5 cosmetic can also make wonders on my face, and I don't really need so many products eventually, and that's how she formed her new habit lah. So I guess
You know, it's very, in US, right? It's really crazy when they come to Christmas. I don't know whether do you know like how they spend for Christmas present, like really enormous, like the whole it's like one whole year, right? They can keep on spending, and at Christmas time they will spend, maybe one kid they spend like maybe 1,000, 2,000 USD for one kid and stuff, like the whole family. It's really, really, well, I see some of my friends how they spend, right? It's like the all it can your one Christmas, right, can take out maybe half your saving, your entire year saving. It's very,
yeah,
very,
exactly.
it's very
Yeah,
bad
so this show
spending.
also, I'm sure that this show and also the example that Yvonne told us, right, give us the impact and the wake up call about how people really spend in real life, and versus how, if you really want the delayed gratification, how you can actually spend instead. I know it's actually very painful, but well, that's life. If you want to suffer now and enjoy later, it's really totally up to your choice, right, Yvonne?
Yeah, food
Yes.
budget with all the convenience of those food delivery, which easily like 15 ringgit, like you call a Grab food, I think with easily 15. You can 200 a month. If it says here, you can only order less than 10 meals.
Yeah,
Ouch.
and it's time to start learning your cooking to cook for yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's perhaps later stage of mine, but not now yet. Now I
yes,
still need to leverage on the food delivery so that I can make full use of my time for work. Yeah.
nice. So next is partial retirement now. So partial retirement is even more difficult according to this one. Is living a partially retired lifestyle is the most moderate approach, but perhaps the most trickiest to plan for financially. Because you have one foot in the work forever camp and one foot in the extreme early retirement camp. So your pool of potential job shrinks because 40 hours work week aren't for you, right? You don't want to work 40 hours a week. And you basically need a part-time job with a better than part-time pay. Part-time job with a better than part-time pay. So you can not only afford the work less now, but also save for the future. Because this is yeah, you don't want to work for full time, which pays you the bulk of the money, but you must find a part time which pays you really well. I mean, some people can, like a lot of KOLs now, this kind of job, but then not everyone is doing that. Like YouTubers can, but then they also fork out a lot of hard work doing editing and stuff like that. So do let us know if you find a job like that. But a part-time
To
job, but
me, is part-time is a lot of time. You cannot treat part-time as, oh, today I feel like working, I do little bit. Tomorrow I don't feel like doing at all, I skip totally. So that's why a lot of time, part-time becomes no time. So you got to also treat part-time as one of your full-time, because even though it is called as part-time, it is just something that you do after your real working hours, but doesn't mean that you don't have to put in effort. I think Yvonne will feel it like part-time, the more you need to actually put in effort to make it happen, because you're not sure how it will turn out.
because as you're working for people, you just follow instruction, right? But when you are
Part-time.
having part-timing, or you need to think, really, no, there's no boss, you are the boss yourself. So then you really need to think a lot out of the box and spend a lot of time thinking for ideas, generating ideas, all this thing, it takes a lot of time. You
Yeah,
might
if
also,
you're wondering what
yeah.
part-time to do, ping us as well. We got a lot of ideas
Oh
for
yeah.
you. Yeah, we
Frankly,
even got a
do
challenge
ping
to help
us.
you discover how you can find your own part-time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so do ping us as well. You might achieve this goal through freelancing on your own schedule, or by running or working for a location independent business that lets you combine work and travel, work and culinary school, work and volunteering, or work and wherever your vacation is. It's very common. I see it, but there's a lot now. Like I've been following a lot of YouTubers where they really travel. For example, their hobby is actually caravanning. The caravan, that is their hobby. And with this caravan, he start to become a influencer in this caravan niche. So everyone who want to talk about caravan, like everyone, he will ping on to him, like, oh, you are here, oh yeah, I'm here too, in this camp, or let's talk. So then he will start to have his YouTube to interview that another caravan, another caravaner, around. So there's a lot of full-time caravaner around in
Actually,
US.
caravan life is such a dream to me as well. Like,
I
I
was
wish
telling
that Malaysia has such a big
No,
role.
I was telling my
Such
husband, my next caravan, my next trip that's opening, if the border is open, definitely a caravan trip. That the first thing is caravan trip, because I've been doing a lot of research on caravan, like their cars, what cars to use, and what is suitable, and jotting out a lot of notes, like which model is suitable, and stuff like that, big or small, a lot of things to take into consideration as well.
Would you want to own one for your future holiday plans?
Not in Malaysia, because oh yeah, I also found out, like, which is the state in America that you should register your caravan in. Yeah, if ping me
Ah,
if you need to, but that's only if you want to travel America with a caravan. But this lady, I've been watching. I didn't watch. She don't have a YouTube program, but she has a Facebook. So she's from China, and she works in Japan in a very high position. And she retired at 40. She couldn't take the stress anymore, but she's paid very, very well. And she was working in a Japanese company, studying there, and they sent her back to Shanghai, and they paid everything. So her own income is literally clean. That's why she get to save a lot of money, and she started to travel caravanning in America. And I learned a lot of things from her, from the conversation as well. So yeah, these are the things that people are doing: partial retire, doing YouTube, taking projects in as consultant based. There's a lot of things you can do while you're holidaying or vacationing as well. Let's move on. Oh, it's already 10:30. Oh yeah, we come to the last page, the bottom line. The retirement experience should be lived throughout life, not after retirement. It
yes,
might
start your retirement today.
Yeah. It might take some extra work and building passive income stream for the future, but doesn't need to wait 40 years to enjoy the benefit. sink in this one. Yeah, just sink it in. I think it's very true.
Just to let all of you know, we are not those conventional financial hosts who tell you, oh, save your hard-earned money, save for 20 years, 30 years, then only you retire. No, we
Yeah,
are a hybrid because we know how
yeah,
tough life is. Nothing is
yeah,
guaranteed for tomorrow, so why not retire early as well? But of
yeah.
course, we're just stating the true fact that if you want to really retire early, you got to sacrifice a lot as well. Yeah.
Mm.
So are you willing to do that?
Exactly. But you can still enjoy. I want to travel while I'm young, make my schedule
Definitely.
fit what I want to do more than what others tell me to do. So you want me to do something you fit to my schedule and not me fitting to your schedule. Well, that is like a dream thing. And live my
Yeah.
ideal life, Yeah. It's like anywhere you're traveling, but you still could be able to just open your laptop and oh sorry, I have a jet lag here to wait for me and stuff like that. It's nice to have this, yeah. But just get back to reality as well. You could do it, but you just take a lot of extra work, to build yourself up. Like what Chanel said, build yourself, build your own branding, build your own niche is very important nowadays in order to do all this part-time retirement or part-time gigs and stuff like that. I think you need to build yourself.
Yeah,
So
and
next,
I have
yeah,
relative who are planning to migrate, but migrating to a new country is not easy. So
definitely.
yeah, so we also had a talk. Instead of just relying on a current job in Malaysia, why not just do side hustle online that is sustainable whenever you are and wherever you go? So which they are doing right now, and they are doing quite good as well. So I think it is really about how you spend the rest of the time. Like today, probably you're very busy with your work. You spend easily 8 to 12 hours a day on your full-time work. How about spending just 1 or 2 more hours every day, right,
Mm,
for your part-time? Is it
mm.
possible? Or in fact, sacrifice your whole Saturday for it. Yeah,
Here's
so
our
that,
six. When we're doing the 60 days, our me and Shana has a 60 days challenge. If you do not know, this is what we actually call our participants to do as well, right? Taking out just a
mm,
little bit of your time. That's it.
yeah, and whereby we are also soon going to start a little bit of our accountability group for ourselves as well, which is also the
Yeah.
same thing. Just spend 1 hour into that platform, right, to make it work.
Yes. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is something that we are not going to open this to a very big group. If you are here, you are listening to this. If you want to ping us up, we are. Should we tell the platform Chanel?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. We are actually starting off accountability on YouTube. So there's few of us. We're not going to make it a very big one because it's also a testing ground for us. We're going to test out a few ways of doing things, and we're going to be accountable for once. Not That's not going to be like every day you have to produce a video. No, it's about once a week. So we're going to start off with like only a month, 1 month, and every week you produce one video, and that's about it. So this is something to accountable to each other and to yourself as well, and to start your engine so that everyone, wow, you see your
Yeah.
friend is doing, or you also would love to do, and you can ask question in the group, and we can learn from that. That's why we want a small group for testing, so that we want to know what is working and what doesn't work, so we can come up with something, then we can help more people on this as well.
The point is the accountability is about you spending at least half an hour or 1 hour of time every day into building your YouTube, whether it is about the copywriting, whether it is about what is the suitable topic to talk about, whether it is about fixing your camera, which lens to look at, those little small things like this. Well, do not underestimate all these things, because I bet that Yvonne and I have been through before. Now, I can bet that for all the video takers out there, the video content creators out there, when you're doing your first video recording the first time, if you're using a handphone, you could have seen the wrong lens actually. You thought that
Yeah,
you should be looking at the screen. No, you should be looking at your lens actually. Yeah.
yeah, that is
High
so
five.
funny. I
High five to
know.
those of you who have tried doing video taking and then you realize that, oh no, I actually look at the wrong place and my eyes are actually
Actually,
not looking at the thing.
to be honest speaking, right, it's because of this whole 1.5 year of teaching Japanese and going on live. Like now, I can look at the lens like 100% without feeling awkward. Like I don't care.
Exactly.
I can be totally don't care where Chanel is. I don't care what is all the thing. I just look at the screen and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
And
That's
then
because of practice.
you can sit still. That's the thing. You can sit still,
Yeah, we could,
not moving because
yeah.
you're used to it already.
Yeah, that's why, that is the reason. That's the very, very reason why few of us, like Chanel, and I don't want to speak about other people, but just me and Chanel, we can speak for each other. But the reason why we take up the moderating group, role, and now we become a host, is because it's a very, very actual fact that we wanted to learn this skill. Talk
I
to
still
the lens.
I still remember my first video. I talked like a robot. I had no idea what I was talking about. I think I was just reading the script, that's it. But moving forward, because we have been doing a lot of live as well, at the same time, we're also doing a lot of video taking, things have changed. Like right now, when the camera is on, with a snap of finger, you can just talk normally. Even though you only have the pointers, with no paragraph, you can talk like that. So it has become a norm for us, like taking video is no longer something very challenging. In fact, it's fun to take video. We like to talk in front of the camera right now.
But that's because we're 1.5 years of practicing, like we volunteer, we step out.
Yeah, we also spend a lot of time doing this, right?
Yeah, a lot of time.
It is actually our effort as well. So we also hope that since both of us have been through, we also hope that more people can actually benefit from it. Like I know, hi, I see Brenda here. I know Brenda has joined the video challenge before, but after that, I bet that maybe Brenda has not found a platform whereby she should do regular video and upload it. So I strongly suggest that Brenda, you can also join us, like find a purpose why you want to be on YouTube, right? So take up the video taking part, try to upload it. If you can't do it every week, it's fine. But how about every 2 weeks kind of thing, to keep the momentum going? Yeah, sometimes
Sorry.
I heard this from a few financial planners in the market who told me why I have the guts to upload video on YouTube, but they have done video, but they only send it to their clients and all. They don't dare to actually post it up. I say, what's wrong posting your video on YouTube versus Facebook versus sending to your clients on WhatsApp? There's no difference.
It's such a shame. When I was talking to one of I was actually starting this with Eddie. So we were talking then, and didn't know that actually, right, my daughter from another room, right, she's actually producing a video. And she didn't know that I have this thing because we did not talk loud. We just on SMS and stuff like that. So she did not know. So on her hand, right, she take like 5 minutes to produce a video and just post it up. So like kids just don't think too much. And her video has like quite a good view, I was like, wow. Your adult think too much.
Yeah. So guys, don't think too much. Just do it. Really.
Yeah, just do it.
When you post your video up, you realize that actually nobody is gonna really care so much about how you look like, how you sound like for your first video. Really, nobody cares.
Exactly. No one will care.
In fact, people will be like, "Oh my god, you're on video! Oh my god, like that kind of feeling."
I always remember one thing you told me, Chanel. Every time this thing comes to my mind, is like you always tell me.
What is it I told you? Okay.
Having a YouTube is actually your name card. This thing is deep into me, like for 1 over years since I know her. She's been telling me.
I changed that.
Oh, really? You upgraded something else?
LinkedIn is my name card.
LinkedIn is your name card now. I mean, video is also very important.
I think I just got a statistic today from LinkedIn that 600 over people watch it. Yeah, it's my name card, and YouTube is my channel. It's my TV channel. It's my profile.
So, profile. Yeah, I think it's profile. The word is nice. Profile. Yeah.
So it's like you want to show your name card, go to my LinkedIn. You want to see my profile, please go to my YouTube. If you want to go see my personal life and everything else, look at my Facebook.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. Exactly.
Yeah.
So why not have a mix of everything, right, guys? Like it's actually pretty easy. Yeah, pretty simple. I wouldn't say it's easy. It's simple. Just be simple-minded. Just upload the video. That's it.
If you don't know what content we should form, when we form the group, we should also talk about with each other and your concern and what video you want and stuff. So it's going to be a small group. We're not going to open it to like big group. So whoever that's listening here, if you enjoy, do ping us up. All right. So
Yeah, fingers
thank you.
crossed. See you.
Yay.
Thank you very much, everyone, tonight for joining
Yeah.
us today throughout the
Yes.
session. Yeah, very
Yes.
good number today, right? So it's been a while, seeing some of you also, and not forgetting that we will also like to share something out that's going to happen this week. Okay. Okay, I think I lost that slide just now.
No worries. Take your
Yeah.
time. I'll just
Yeah,
pull down
so
mine.
we all know that networking has become something that we really miss, especially those physical networking. Like we used to have durian time together, we used to have like Thai food together, we even have the financial game
Aw.
together. Oh my god, I really
God.
miss that. Yeah, but that was the good old days, and the FNCO came, the CMCO came, and all that. That eventually we didn't really manage to do a lot of meetups. But right now, since we are actually having quite a good lifting of the MCO restrictions. Yeah, so right now we are actually going to do something really fun, on this Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, very, very soon. Very, very soon.
But we always have business networking on Wednesday, so now we're going to bring the business networking onto physical networking.
Yeah. So for those of you who are new here, right, 100x Connects is actually a community that we formed 18 months ago, ever since the first lockdown in Malaysia happened. So since then, a few hundred of us, and then right now we have 1,000 of us actually gather together to form a community. So any kind of profession that you can actually tell, we are all here together. So yeah, the bonding actually became so strong that we also never realized that within just a short period of time, we can actually meet so many people online and also physically, right? So the vision here is we hope that, through this community, we are able to help everyone out, including supporting each other emotionally and also your entrepreneurship journey. If you need support financially, we also have fundraising support right now. We also have collaboration support right now. We also have members, who can collaborate with you as well, cross over together with you right now. And yeah, so that's why we want to make things really happening this Wednesday. We are also having a physical networking really very fun at PJ area, which is at Iconic. Yeah, so for those of you who have listened to this name before, congratulations. But those of you who actually have not listened before, Iconic is actually located at Icon City in PJ. Yeah, so they have a few floors of the co-working places whereby we're going to have the networking session this Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. So any one of you who would love to join us will be able to join if you scan this QR code on the screen right now. Yeah, because we have limited seats due to the restrictions of SOP. So we strongly suggest that you can RSVP soon, and we will see you soon this Wednesday. So with that said,
Yay.
thank you very much, everyone. Yeah,
See
good
you.
night, everyone. Yeah, but Chanel and Iwan won't be seeing you next week, so we will be seeing you the week next. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, and
Bye.
yeah, say goodbye to us. Say goodbye to us, right? So good night and bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.